We've seen it on 1,000 gym fails. You have to roll it over your penis or your groinal area, and you look around and you feel like an idiot. So I'm in the Bodybuilding here. Thank you very much for joining me as always. And today I thought, let's talk about chest. Everybody loves chest. Everybody loves pectorals and arms. Some people just change pectoral and arms, and even though they're massively out of sync with the rest of the body, they don't care because they have big triceps, biceps, and pecs. However, there may be a few reasons why you are not getting the results you want. That's why 7 reasons your chest isn't growing. Number 7, you're not squeezing at the top. Now, I am mostly referring to the people that have been training for a while. If you're a novice, I would just focus on form and I wouldn't worry about these little things, although you're perfectly welcome to as well. But given that every single chest exercise you do, bench press, dumbbell press, cable flies, whatever it may be, ends with you doing this and coming together in some sense, it stands to reason that when you are in that position, you should give your chest a little bit of a squeeze. Now, this kind of ties into the mind-muscle connection. I know the mind-muscle connection always sounds like voodoo, or like you're in some kind of a spa, and somebody says, just feel the muscles in your brain coming together. But actually, when you do find that connection, I suppose is the best way to put it, it does work. And all of a sudden, you are able to lift better, and you are able to lift smarter, because you can actually feel it working. And for me personally, one of the best ways, one of the best things I ever did was getting to the top of that movement and just squeezing. Let's say you're doing a bench press, right? You get to the top, just flex your pecs. You can even do it here. And when you do that, you engage something, or you tell your brain something. This is what we're trying to work right now. But also, anytime you can put this under tension, or any muscle under tension, time under tension, you are going to see growth. So again, next time you're doing your chest routine, go through every single exercise. Just do what you would do subconsciously. I bet a lot of people are just doing that. So there's a whole extra method there for you to take advantage of. You don't have to do it every single session. Maybe one session in 2. Maybe you do 2 sessions a week, and one session you just rep it out. On the other one, you really focus on this, and you focus it on the negatives as well. I think that's a massive problem with everybody that goes to the gym. You just fall into patterns, because of course you do. You're doing it 5-6 days a week. It'd be like when you're walking to work. Some people walk to work, they get to work, they're like, how the hell did I get here? Because their brain is just kicked into muscle memory mode, which is ironic, so we're talking about muscles. So just give the squeeze a go, even though that sounds really, really weird. Number 6 is the classic, you're not going heavy enough. Now I get it, right? When you're doing the bench press especially, that is a scary move, because you can get the bar trapped on it. We've seen it on 1,000 gym fails. You have to roll it over your penis or your groinal area, and you look around and you feel like an idiot. Always use clips, it's happened to all of us. Don't worry about it. But you still need to go heavy on chest, right? You still want to be able to engage those muscles in the right way, but you just don't have to do that solely on bench press. There's this idea, especially because of gym bros, that you have to do bench press, you have to go really, really heavy, and you have to be lifting 4 plates and all of this. I mean, that's absolute poppycock. I don't lift 4 plates on bench press anymore. In fact, I never did 4 plates. The most I ever did, even when I was like powerlifting, was like, what? I think 3 plates, but even then I think I may be exaggerating. And now I'm perfectly happy with 1.5 plates. That's right. I put on 60 kilograms, or more than that, actually be 80 kilograms. I put on 80 kilograms, and I just rep it out, and I'll focus on it. But even I know sometimes, wait a minute, we do have to push this a little bit more, and you can actually get away with more weight than you're expecting, especially if you get a spotter. I get it, you don't want to talk to anybody in the gym. But if you really are struggling to see growth, it could be that you're focusing too much on your repetitions and not enough much on your weight. However, we now reverse that for number 6. Also, people do go too heavy as well, right? You need to find this balance, and it depends what type of gym goer you are. So again, you got the gym bro that's like heavy all the time, and they just throw time and attention and form out the window, and then your chest is going to get stronger, but that aesthetic look you're going for probably isn't going to come through, because again, you're just not hammering enough. And then you get the other way where, people just are scared of being crushed, so they don't put enough weight on. This is where rep ranges comes into it. Pick your rep range. Let's say you're doing 10 to 12 reps. Get in that rep range. And on that 10th rep, it should be a little bit of a struggle. And in an ideal world, in that 11th one, you get it up, and there's a little touch and go, but you're still confident and you still know you're in the control. That's why sometimes you can get a spotter and just say, don't actually help me unless something goes wrong. Not everything has to be, oh man, we're going to do 42 reps at 170 kilograms. You don't need to do that. Now, of course, you can say this for a lot of muscle groups, but I do think it's a little bit different with chest. It's like deadlifts, right, or any kind of compound exercises. People fall into this habit of, I'm going to have to lift super heavy, and they forget form, or they go the other way, and they're not pushing their muscle enough in order to get it stronger so it will grow. So there is a happy balance to this. Once again, look at your routine, go through it, make sure you're writing everything down, and you'll be able to see over the last month, oh man, I definitely can do more than this. So if you've been stuck on 80 kilograms for 2 months, just go up to 82.5, then go up to 85, 87.5, 90 by the end of next year, I should say, if you're watching this in 2022. You could even get up to the wonderful 100 kilogram club, and then sure, that may be the top of what you're able to do. You've also just added on 20 kilograms So your chest is going to grow. Number 4 is not going low enough. Now, a lot of people will say that you shouldn't do this and parallel is fine. And I do agree with that, but this ties into the last 2 we talk about. It depends how much weight you're throwing around, because this is like an alternative that you can do. If you really don't want to put more weight on because you're scared about injuring yourself, which I totally get, of course you would do. It's quite intense exercise to do. Try going lower with your arms, especially if you're doing some kind of bench press. So you have it up here. If you want to just go parallel, of course you're going to be smashing your chest in a perfect way. You don't need to worry about it. But even though when you go below parallel, obviously your triceps are going to kick in more, and your delts and your shoulders are going to kick in more, and other stabilizer muscles too. So is your chest, and so are other areas of your chest that maybe you're not working. Now, if you feel confident enough with the weight and it's not too heavy, why not give it a go? Do not put anything under too much pressure, and do not injure yourself. That's not what I'm saying. If you have a dodgy shoulder and you know that's bad for you, throw this idea out of the window, right? You always have to take this stuff, and you have to be able to make it work for you. And we're all different. But ever since I started doing this, because again, I've already told you, I do kind of lift lighter now because I'm a wrestler. I want to keep my body in tip-top condition. Just going down there and sometimes even holding it and getting that stretch and then pushing up. When I am done, I'm in agony. I'm like, oh, my chest, it hurts so much. And of course, that kind of feeling, lactic acid buildup or DOMS the next day, isn't really indicative of anything. Doesn't mean you've had a good or a bad workout, but it's still nice to get. It's still a nice pat on the back, like, hey, maybe I've done something. And I know for a long old time, I'd kind of had it beaten into my brain, no, you cannot go below parallel. But if you do and you do it safe, it actually is a great way to try and stimulate growth. Once again, just throw it in on one of your chest days, or maybe once every 2 weeks. It's just a little extra bullet, I suppose, to try and fire at the situation, which is better than just doing the same thing over and over again. Eventually your brain realizes. Number 3 is my favorite one, and one that I'm so glad I learned a few years ago. You're not taking advantage of incline. Because everybody wants to do flat bench press, because it's become a stereotypical, once again, gym bro exercise. Screw it. Get rid of it. You don't need it. Do incline stuff. Now, of course, you can do too much incline stuff as well. You know, balance and moderation is key. But the first chest exercises I would always do in the gym when it came to my chest, my pectorals, is an incline one. Because what I've always found, and again, it could be different from you. You don't know. When I do flat bench, I feel a very, very specifically across the middle of my chest, which makes sense. When I do incline, I feel it at the top, I feel it in the middle, I feel it at the bottom. And by and large, most people work sort of the lower part of their chest loads anyway, just by the exercises we are doing. And they don't have a great top of their chest. Loads of people say this. They want the weird little ridge, whatever you want to call it, that's just here. You're not only going to get that, but the best way to get that is by doing your incline presses. So just do it. Change it today. Once again, if you don't like it after 6 weeks, you can change back. But even then, if you're still going to prioritize flat bench, you've got to be getting some incline stuff in there too. Decline, I feel like, is a little bit different, because for me personally, when you're doing the other two, I feel like decline gets in there. But you can do that as well. And then you're hitting each part of the chest. Like, again, ties into your triceps. You wouldn't just hit one tricep head. You wouldn't just hit one bicep head. You wouldn't just hit your quads. You want to do hamstrings. You want to do everything. So look at your chest like that as well. Imagine it as the upper chest, the lower chest, and the middle chest. So a flat bench, decline bench, and incline bench. And make sure you are like marrying those things up when you are doing your protocols or your routines, whichever word we want to use. And it is going to help, once again, if you're really struggling to see growth. If you're at the start of your journey, you can do any of this, and you're going to get newbie gains, and it's going to be the best thing ever. But I see too many people over-relying on flat bench. The incline is right there. And I know that no one does incline press. Do you know how hard it is to get on a flat bench in the gym? Impossible. Incline, just over there going, please, somebody use me. That's my best friend. Number 2 is kind of similar to this too. You're not focusing enough on cable machines. Now, I was talking to somebody in the gym, the fitness palace I love about this the other day, and they said, no, I don't like doing cable machines because it's not free weights. And I'm like, that's stupid. You want to be doing free weights, but you want to be doing isolation exercises, and you absolutely want to be doing cables on your chest. Are you kidding me? I think cable crossovers are better than pectoral flies. I just do. Again, my personal opinion. Because not only do I have the get out of jail free card, that if something goes wrong, well, I can just drop things. I mean, you don't want to do that because you may break the machine, but it's far better than you've got weights and you're wibbling wobbling. But that crossover, I can't really do it this, Mike, that crossover when you can really squeeze, which ties back into the first one we talked about, holy crap, man, it makes me want to cry. It's agony in both a good way and a bad way. And sometimes when I'm done, I look at it like, how dare you, you son of a bitch. That was absolutely horrible, you mother Hubbard. So do not do cable stuff. I don't get it. To me, cable stuff is the best. And then some people like to do it on a bench and whatever works for you. But as far as I'm concerned, you stand up, you get each handle, whatever you want to call it, sort of towards the middle of your body, and you just rep it out as if you are doing pectoral flies. And I don't think there's as good a burn in the gym, or at least not for me. That is the one exercise where, again, I've got tears in my eyes because it hurts so much, to the point, especially when you get to that 12th and 13th rep, say I want to do 14, 15. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do it. It hurts so much, but of course, you push through to the other side. Some people I know have been training for years, and they have never done cable crossovers. So if I were you, and I'm not, so you can ignore me, I'd do it today. And number one, and this is where I get controversial, and that's why I left it to last, stop doing that stupid back arch. Now, of course, we've seen this 1,000 times before. If you're a powerlifter or a strongman, I totally get it. That is the form. You arch your back a little bit, it gives you more support, and it allows to lift more weights. I, once again, am talking about the bodybuilding style of thing, the aesthetic style of things. People that just want a bigger chest or a chest that looks good and looks sculpted. Get rid of the arch back. There's always going to be some arch in your back when you do bench because you're lifting a heavy thing above your head. But the trend now, especially because of TikTok, flipping TikTok, is everyone is doing the arch bent to the point some people look like bridges. One, to me, that is totally dangerous and you're going to hurt your back. But two, you can lift more weight. I'm not saying that. You can be stronger, but your rep range is going to absolutely suck. And as far as I'm concerned, if you are looking for more a fuller chest or just a better looking chest, you have to get in those rep ranges. And some people do the stupid arch bench thing. They don't have that much weight on. They do like 30 repetitions, and I think that's a waste of time as well. Don't get carried away with the new stuff. Again, I'm not saying there's not science in this, there is. But I'm talking about the people, once again, that want to see muscular loveliness. Stick with rep ranges and stick with just a tiny arch instead of kind of trying to stick whatever that thing is. I don't get it. I think it's really strange. Now, loads of people disagree with me on this. Anytime I mention any kind of video, it just melts down, and that's totally cool. That's my opinion. It's my channel. Now, please do leave a comment below, and again, share your own tips for building a bigger chest, getting a bigger chest. What did you do? What did you not do? Somebody else may see it, and it may help them, and that's what this is all about, which is why I always make sure you take all my information with a pinch of salt as well, because it may not work for you. You can also like the video, share the video, and subscribe with the bell ding ding notification crew. There will be a video on the screen. Grillofmine.com/Simon. Just go to Simon to get 10% off. That supports me, and I also really back these supplements. I think they're wonderful. What else do I have? Patreon.com/Simon316. That's Simon316 on Instagram and Twitter. I'm on Cameo if you want to shout out. Merchandise in the link below. I've got fitness tees and I've got wrestling tees. I get a little bit of money from each one, but they're being handled by professional companies, so they'll get to you super quick as well. Otherwise, happy holidays, I suppose, if you're watching this at the end of the year. If not, don't worry about it because it's March or something. Take care. See you soon.